Alright, this is the highlight video from August 24th from the GreatStockPicks.com live trading chat room. Okay, I haven't put out a video in a while, mostly because the market has been, most days, it just goes into this day-long chop where there's not a lot of trades, and it's just not worth making a video. But I have a few to share with you from today. Today was a pretty good day. TIN. Get the drawing tool going here. TIN, these are daily candles. You can see yesterday this thing just got killed, right? And amidst this big sell-off, you've seen our videos. You know those catch our attention. All right. So let's look at yesterday's sell-off first. I went ahead and let buyers jump in here. Right on this candle. Just watched. I was just a spectator. A drop like this is always scary. I try to play them, but I try to play them safely. Let it bounce, and then I use this little candle here as kind of my gauge. Alright, this was well, let's make that an arrow. This red candle right here was my gauge as to how powerful sellers are going to be. Alright, you know, sellers are jumping in here again after this little bitty bounce, and their intention, anyone selling the stock, is trying to get it back through the low of the day, or assumes it's going to go through the low of the day, however you want to word it. When sellers came in here and could not push it back down, to me, that said we had some strength. All of a sudden, this bounce might be for real, in other words. Okay, so I called it long right there on that green candle with a stop right below that green candle. This was yesterday. So I'll give you the numbers. The long call was 1985 with a 1957 stop. 5-minute candle, so you can see about 20 minutes later from 1985, this was all the way up to 2096, so over $1 move here on what I felt was a fairly safe entry. It never did stop out and ended up going even higher. Well, because of that crazy action yesterday, that put it back on watch for me today. I wanted to see what would happen this time. So on the initial little bit of a gap up here, kind of put in a series of lower highs. I went ahead and called it as, try that again, called it as a long today right there on this green candle with a stop right below that little narrow green candle. So a very nice risk reward again in tin. So tin really the star of the day, 2 days in a row in our chat room. Today 21.51 right here was the entry. The stop was only 17 cents below. And from 21.51 didn't take very long to get maybe 30 minutes to make $1, and ended up going all the way to 22.95 for anyone that held it kind of into the close there. And that's a total of like over $1.40 move on 17 cents risk. And you can see again, I'll show you the entry one more time. You can see that the entry there, right about there, and the stop below that little green candle. The stop never even came close, nor did the entry. Neither one of them came close to getting revisited. So a couple can't lose trades there. Never even made you think about it. Zion, I made a similar early call in Zion. You saw Bank of America very strong today. I took Zion, a regional bank, and went ahead and called it long right there. Just manually draw an arrow with a stop right there. It wasn't huge. But from 1583, it did go pretty quickly to 1620. So a nice early payoff there as well. And this one did. If you had your stop there all day, you would have got stopped out on the rest right there. I generally sell into my into the first pop. And RIM made a couple calls. I made a suggestion on RIM as it was basing here, that over this consolidation, RIM could really break out. The daily chart looked good, and man, it just ripped almost right after I showed it in chat. Just ripped. Unfortunately, I wasn't astute enough. I kind of took my eyes off RIM. Nice little base break down here before it made another move at the high of the day. I wasn't astute enough, didn't stick with it to call it again there. But did call it once it just kept climbing here without a pullback, okay? I mean, just made this really nice climb, ripped through the highs of the day. Then it caught my attention, and then started to climb back up here. You know, again, I could have. There's several areas on this chart I could have made better calls in RIM. So, you know, in some ways it's not a lot to brag about. But then finally, when I thought, you know what, this thing is just, it's got more in it. And you got to play the stocks in play, the stocks with volume. So I made a late day call in RIM right in here using a method I teach at 28.32, I believe was the entry, right on this green candle right here. And it made a move over 30 minutes to 28.76. So, you know, a nice 40-something cent move on 8 cents risk. The stop, when I called, it was 8 cents below, and it never looked back. So still a decent trade in RIM today. And, geez, I think that's about it. Bernanke speaking Friday, I think about a half hour into the session. I think things might just be on hold until then. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people on pins and needles. RIM daily looks pretty impressive here too. So I don't know what the next day is going to be like, or Friday. Certainly be keeping everybody playing defense going into that, and we'll see what happens. But a lot of nice setups in chat today. I'm not going to babble any further. We will. I don't know if there'll be a wrap-up video tomorrow or Friday. I'll probably get on one of those days, Friday afternoon, make a video about what transpired. I don't know what to expect, but should be some interesting setups out there. So, all right, have a good night, and we'll talk to you later.